everybody, I'm Max, and I just spoke to Kara, and I'm gonna go write things down that she said, and we're gonna probably speak regularly for for as long as I need it. But no, thanks for the conversation. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't back to back, this Irish twin situation. That wasn't a vision. It's so interesting how, I mean, you're into therapy, but there's just so much coincidental stuff and numbers for me, and numerology, and how old I was, and when my first kid was born, and
Okay, what? Like
and
what?
the dates of it all, and all this stuff.
What are
So
the
I feel
dates?
like it was meant to all meant to be.
What are the dates and numbers?
The 8 pops in a lot. That's my number, and it means a lot of things for me. But to go back to your question with Peta, this is a real relationship. This is when people ask us, what makes this work, and it's part of the vision, it's part of the journey, is because 13 years in, this is a real relationship. It's not. I read today they're like the longest couples in Hollywood, and they present couples that've been together for like 8 years. I'm like, damn.
Well, those are not the longest
You know what I'm
couples
saying?
in
No,
Hollywood.
but isn't that funny how they just
Yes.
now talking about longevity as like single digits?
Well, okay, so I'm thinking of one already: Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick.
Yeah, no, I mean there's a lot.
Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. They've been
There's
together
a
for
lot,
8,
yeah.
and even like Barbara Streisand, your old Malibu neighbor, and
Yeah. No, but there's a.
James
But
Brolin.
I think maybe our reality is a little different. I think times have changed. The stigma gone away. You can hop around if you will. You can be on your third, fourth marriage. I read something recently, but all these rich people and successful entrepreneurs, they always scream this, dedication and no weekends, and there's no, like getaways, and you're, like you have to put in time and all that. The families that with you put in time, blah blah blah. I saw one entrepreneur. I'm not gonna talk about extremely wealthy entrepreneur and successful, and he's talking about like, nah, it's not about that. I'm just as proud, he said, of the fact that I'm this successful and this is my one and only marriage, as
Yeah.
I am of my success.
Yeah.
And so it's the same things. Like there's guys that are just like, boasting their financial successes, but they're on like 5th and 6th relationship. This is not the way I see this.
Right. So you wanted this kind of a really good, solid marriage for yourself.
Yes.
Like you wanted a really good family,
Yes.
like happy, healthy partners, the
Yes.
whole thing. And this
Yes.
is what you got.
Yes.
So you feel good about that.
Yes.
And what's like you're pretty good communicators. You talk about things.
I just a big talker probably. So there's a communication.
You're a big talker. Okay. So how do you like? What's the dynamic between the two of you? Are you more of the? I don't know. You tell. I'm not going to put
With
words
her?
in your mouth. Yeah. Like yeah.
Yeah, no, she's cool. We have a great time. We got into it with, I guess I'm older. We're 6 years apart, right? So she's my brother's age, and they're born the same year. And so my upbringing, I've always been his, teacher, mentor. Then I had my studios, my students. So within the dance business, Max has always been like this figure, this father figure. And we're talking since I was 21, 19, 20. I've already had a, big dance studio, big kids in the United States, big following and all that. So whenever there'd be a dance competition, a national event, a lot of parents would be like, like the kids would just hang out with my students, and that'd be okay because Max is there watching. I wasn't watching. I'm just saying. I was just everybody's older brother figure. And so when she came in and we met, it sort of felt not an older brother, but it felt like there was this sort of separation, and like, oh, Max is older and mature or whatever that may be. But it's not true at all. She was always extremely mature. I had a lot of things that I had to figure out. She seemed to be way more on it in terms of, the who she is, the how she is. I don't know.
Yeah. So
It's
she
just
has
a
a high emotional intelligence.
She is just high intelligence, I would say, period. You know, she's a very like solid, you know exactly what you're gonna get type of person. And also, and that's, you know, you're gonna get the fun, you're gonna get the laughter, you're gonna get the easy sort of easygoing kind of relationship. She's not that complicated. What the are you saying?
Right.
You
No
know
games.
what I mean?
Like what you see is what you get.
No games. That's the
She puts
one
it right
thing.
out on the table.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a gift, by the way,
that's
to
a
the
gift.
person on the other side of that.
100%.
And it's also a gift to be that way yourself.
Yeah, because I'm like that. I'm like, here's everything, right? So if you're playing games, it's just not, I take everything back and I go away. So with her, it's like this. But with me, it's tough because I'm, again, that emotional part. I know I'm difficult, you know? So I know that she's got a lot to deal with. And the fact that we're making it work means that she's making it, you know, she made an effort at some point to just make it work.
Yeah,
you know?
and she wants to because it's not easy. So
No,
she's
no,
still
no.
working
I probably
at it.
didn't make it easy at all.
So you get emotional with her or about everything?
No, I think that period of time is also past us a little bit. But like I'm where I am today, is different. It's a different feeling, different period of time, you know.
So you're more settled.
Yeah.
Even though you're still emotional.
Yeah.
Well, you are who you are.
I just know this. I just let certain things be me, you know, take me as I am type of thing. And then on certain things, I'm like, oh, that's not really negative. You know, I can use it the right way.
Okay. So it's learning to adjust it a little bit, like tweak it a little so that you have an outlet for it without hurting anybody or yourself in the process.
Yes, 100%, just everybody first. But I do take very good care of myself in order to be good for others. Because now there's so many others that I have to be good for, and they all feel and sense, and they all understand. They could see, you know, with Shy, you know, our first one being 7 years old now, he's like, Papa, I see you do it. He's actually saying this now. He's like, you told me not to do this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I'm like, well, damn it, go away.
Yes, he
go away.
catches
Let me think of the response. Just go to your room. No. But you know what I mean? Like now it's, you know, I don't want to be in a position to have to explain myself to him. I want to be, and it doesn't mean that I want to be under pressure to always be on it, you know? No, I want him to see the failures the same way, you know? But
he will continue to see you more.
I live double life every day. When I'm with him, I'm also just flexing, trying to remember me at 7 with my dad, because I remember that period of time. So now it's interesting, this game of parenting, because now I remember how I felt. I remember how it seemed to me when you got this like a big figure sort of like giving you this attitude, right? And you're like, well, why? I feel like this, right? I remember those tiny little moments. So it's very interesting. But it's, you know, once kids start growing up, if you really give a shit about being a great parent and raising good people, you're going to be like this. You know, you're going to start like, damn, I got to change. I got to stop doing this stuff. And all of this is nonsense. And, you know, just lead by example.
It'll be interesting because as he gets older, he'll spot even more and will point things out that you don't even realize about yourself.
Yeah, but I also know my profession. I've been doing this, talking into the black hole of internet for so long. I know exactly what I said. And I know that he's going to come across this too. Every mention of them, him, and whatever, it's going to be, you know, public, right? So what I'm saying now, it's he knows this and she knows this, and the next one is gonna know it, and like, I'm not gonna, you know.
Right.
I'm exactly what I am, you know, all the time.
So let's go back to what you're saying. So you wanted this family, you wanted a great, healthy family situation. So you wanted a lot of kids, or like how was it? Because you had some trouble getting pregnant with Peta getting pregnant the first time, right? Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about that? What happened?
I was focused on my partner a lot. Like I you know, in my sort of, not a vision or at all, but in like the feeling that what I felt about relationships and families and all that, first and foremost, it wasn't like I want to have, 3 boys. This is crazy.
Yeah.
No, I was always focused on the type of person I want to be with. So for me, I ended at that. I knew that if my foundation is solid with another human, then by definition, right, everything else should be solid too. And so I really hyper focused on the person that I'm with, who I want to spend the rest of my life with, undeniably for me. And the rest is easy. And so with kids, it's like once I knew it was Peta, and it was Peta and I. Now we're having kids. Now we're having problem having kids. Now we're having more kids. Now, oh shit, here's another one. We did this exact thing last summer.
What do you mean?
This right here. This, like, we're about to have a baby. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and tomorrow, a year ago, we had a baby.
Tomorrow.
And I was in the middle of the show. And I was like, oh shit, now I got to say a lot of, say no to the month of July for some opportunities and this and that. And I ended up not saying no, but flying back and forth with Nap. It was just nuts. And so when we got pregnant again, and it turned into the exact same timing. We live in like some kind of Groundhog's Day with this pregnancy stuff.
That's so wild.
Yeah, and Shy, and I think she now is like, all right, we need to put a pause to this at least, because Shy, I think he said something recently, something like, "Mama, you're always pregnant," or something like that. And she's like, we just walked away. I'm like, just be nice. What are you saying? He's like, but Papa, she's been pregnant forever. I was like, okay, true, but don't say it.
Right, that's not an untrue statement.
Don't say it.
In the course of his life, it seems like a lot. But he'll get right out of that anyway. And it'll
She's
be like,
going to forget it. Yeah. And she's going to miss it in 2 years. She'll be like, oh, I'm going to be pregnant.
Right.
Again.
It's a little wild now. It'll get normal though, and you'll get your rhythm. But it is wild. A wild surprise. It was a surprise, obviously.
Yeah.
And okay, so he is 7, and you were planning to have more. You wanted to have more after him, but it just didn't happen.
After Shy?
Yeah.
Yes. No, we wanted more kids.
Okay.
She got pregnant, I remember 3 times. Didn't work. The IVF didn't work. And then after that, it's just, here you go.
So how did you deal with the emotions of that, since you're an emotional person?
Tough. It wasn't me. It was Peta, obviously. For us, it's, and also I'm, the kind of upbringing that I'm from, and this being a very physical thing, and for me, I've always separated physical as just kind of like an injury, the rehab program, the protocol, the comeback, and we're back to 100, like super idiotic, just sports. Everything is that, right? But I think, the given what we do, we don't have a medical team, right? So I don't have a team of doctors, for example, in my profession.
Well, what do you mean you don't have a medical team?
So I'm just saying, like, to answer the question, like how I felt about Peta and losing the babies and her coming back and everything else. I was confused as to, like, I was trying to be this coach, like, you got this, buddy, you got this, like, sort of pat in the back thing. But then you also have to be a lover, a partner, and all of that emotional stuff for me is not foreign, but it's harder. It's harder because as an athlete, to overcome injuries, you have to completely separate emotion from a physical injury. And so when it became this, it took me a long time to understand the emotional part that she's going through with losing the pregnancy. Because for me, on the second time, it was like, oh.
Right.
But this is stupid, because then on the third time, I realized that the time that it takes and the mind that it, because then you have to wait for a period of time, then it's another long term, then you're happy again, then you're not. It's insane. So what she's been through is nuts. And I probably wasn't always like the best partner, but at the end of it, I think I'm now, way more understanding, and I understand everything, and I'm just at awe about the way she dealt with it, and the fact that I probably wasn't 100% the person that she wanted, you know what I'm saying, because I thought that I was doing the right thing, but also pushing and nudging a little bit, given the fact that she wanted to do Dancing with the Stars, for example, every year. This year was insane. The fact that her job was to smile on camera, and I can't even start retelling how many different moments in time that she had nothing to smile about. I mean, she's my hero for sure.
So she kept doing the show during all of this, and nobody would have known what she was going through on the inside.
No, a lot of them, both the ups and the downs, but also like she was pregnant twice on week 4 of 2 seasons. With Shy, she was pregnant. She actually won while 8 weeks pregnant. With the Rio, she was pregnant on the show. With this one, she was pregnant. I mean, this chick, I don't know how she does it.
She's pretty incredible. Yeah. And it's pretty great that you see her for what she is too, and appreciate her for that.
She comes back on the show 3 times within a month and a half. Like, how insane
did
is
that help her though? It probably helped her, I feel, in certain ways.
I mean, she keeps herself really healthy, and she's very health conscious, right? So this definitely helped her process, I mean, hard work always takes care of stuff, and I think if you get to have something physically demanding that's this hard, that you actually love, well, now you just have an easier way out. And it doesn't feel easy. It's all those things. But I'm saying I think it's easier than someone whose job is sitting down, for example, right? And how long that would take to get out of a certain situation and a rehab from a pregnancy and so on. So I don't know. We are always under pressure, but I think we're also lucky to have this type of opportunity.
Yeah, I feel also, I wonder, the fact that you both can understand that situation, your work situation so well, it would be hard to place yourself in the other person's shoes if you had very different careers. So it seems like a really good thing that you both really understand what it takes and what's involved with the show.
But it's also not everybody that could do it, because, we're not even talking about what our job is. A person outside just thinks it's just come, show up, and do that thing that you do really well, right? I mean, the dance is the last part of the job.
Yeah, what is the full job?
It's this therapy. It's psychological, sort of like you spend time with somebody who is insecure, upset, unable, hurt, all of the above.